this situation right here, yeah, it's not just messy anymore, it's starting to look calculated, emotional, and honestly, a little reckless. And I'm gonna walk you through this step by step because the more you actually look at what's going on with Claressa Shields, Papoose and Remy Ma, the less sense it makes. But before we even get deep into it, I gotta ask you something. Do you think this is just relationship drama, or does this feel like something way bigger going on behind the scenes? Let me know that as we go, because I'm telling you right now, this situation is layered. Also, if you're new here, I'm Marcus Hale, and we're not just skimming headlines, we're actually breaking this stuff down. Now, let's get into it, because a lot of people thought they already understood this story. They thought, okay, Papoose moved on, Remy is upset, Claressa's the new woman. Simple, right? Yeah, not anymore. That version of the story, it's falling apart fast. Let's rewind to the moment things really started getting weird. Remy drops that track, throws her shots, cool, nothing new in that space, but then Papoose comes right behind it, posting pictures with his wedding ring on. Now pause right there. Why are you posting your wedding ring in the middle of all this? Be honest, what would you think if you saw that? Because to me, that didn't look random at all. That looked like a man trying to send a message without saying a word, like, I'm still married, that's still my wife. But here's the part that flips everything. Remy didn't respond. No soft moment, no public reaction, nothing that said she wanted him back. If anything, it looked like she was completely done. And I'm curious, do you think that hurt his ego a little bit? Because what happens next, it kind of lines up.
Jesus. I can't even find my damn corkscrew, bro. I'ma leave it be. But you know what? Keep Claressa Shields' name out y'all motherfucking mouth. You bitches can't fight like me. Y'all can't squabble. You can't squabble like the Guo. Bitch, you can't squabble like the Guo. Watch your motherfucking mouth. Trying to clout chase your way to the top. You look stupid. I try not to get mad on here, but man, bitches popping their all fight week. Like y'all really about something.
Because right after that, suddenly, he's right back around Claressa heavy, posting more, showing up more, doing regular everyday things together like grocery shopping, and it's all being filmed and shared. Now, don't get me wrong, couples do normal things, but this didn't feel normal. This felt performative, like something was being proven. And I gotta ask you, do you think that was genuine or was that damage control? Because the timing, it's a little too perfect. And here's where people really start raising eyebrows. You've got Claressa Shields at the top of her game, champion, making serious money, building a legacy, and she's tied into this? A situation with a man who is still legally connected to someone else, surrounded by drama, rumors, and confusion? That's where people start asking the uncomfortable question, why? And I'm not saying feelings aren't real, but at some point you have to look at the situation as a whole, because now we get into the baby conversation, and this is where everything shifts. At first, people were saying Claressa wanted a baby to solidify her place. You know how people think, oh, Remy had his child, now she wants that same connection. But now the talk is he's the one pushing for it. And I need you to really think about that.
I just love a good outing in my car. Oh my God. Every time I get in here, I be like, put a tash. So I called my brother today, right? And he's like, sis, I know you be in that car, but that's not a regular car. It's a machine. Don't be speeding. And I told him, I done already went 120 in this thing. He talking about, so don't be going so fast. So I be trying not to, but it's just like the car, it's like the car is just fast. It's just fast.
A man still tied up in a marriage situation, pushing for a baby in a new relationship? What does that sound like to you? Because to some people, that doesn't sound like love, that sounds like strategy. And yeah, I said it. Because once a child enters the picture, everything changes. Now there are permanent ties, financial ties, legal ties. It's not just feelings anymore. And people are already making comparisons to situations where the woman is the one with the career, the money, the momentum, and the man benefits long term. You've seen those situations before. So when people bring that up here, it's not random. And I want to know, do you think that's reaching, or do you see why people are saying that? Because this is where it gets even more complicated. There are long-standing rumors, and let's be clear, these are allegations, about Papoose having a pattern of stepping outside relationships. Some people even tie that back to the situation that led to Remy Ma doing time. Now, again, not confirmed facts, but the fact that people are even connecting those dots, that tells you how this situation is being viewed. And it also explains why Remy might be completely done. Because think about it, if you went through something major in your life and you felt like that person played a role in it, are you going back? Be real, most people wouldn't. And that brings us to something that a lot of people are just now waking up to. They might not even be officially divorced. Yeah, let that sit for a second. People have been searching, checking records, trying to confirm what's actually finalized, and nothing clear has come out publicly. So now the question becomes, is this really a new relationship, or is this a situation happening in the middle of a marriage that hasn't legally ended? Because those are two very different things. And it gets deeper. Remy herself said that during a divorce process, you can't just cut certain ties, like health insurance, meaning he's still connected to her in real legal ways. So while everything online looks separated, behind the scenes, that connection is still active. And here's the part people are not talking about enough. If something serious were to happen, she would still be the one with legal authority, not Claressa. Now think about that for a second. How do you build a future with someone when you don't even have that level of position in their life? That's a real question. And maybe that's why things feel so unstable. Because while Claressa is very public, very vocal, very present in this situation, there are signs she doesn't actually have full control of it. And when people feel that, they start reacting. You see it in interviews, in comments, in posts, like when she told people to stop asking about Papoose and focus on her. And I get that, but at the same time, you can't build attention around something and then get frustrated when people pay attention to it. That's not how that works. And then, just when you think it couldn't get messier, now there are rumors about other women involved too. People noticing patterns, connections, similar appearances, overlapping timelines, and again, nothing confirmed, but enough to keep people talking. And that's the real issue here. It's not just one situation anymore, it's layers on layers. And while all of this is happening, Claressa's image is starting to take hits too. Not just because of the relationship, but because of how she's been reacting publicly. Like that moment with the other fighter situation, where instead of showing sportsmanship, it came off dismissive, and people noticed that. Even supporters were like, wait, what was that? Because at her level, people expect composure, they expect discipline, and when that slips, especially during personal drama, it changes how people see you. And I gotta ask you this, do you think this situation is starting to affect her focus? Because a lot of people are saying exactly that. They're saying she's too caught up in proving something instead of just moving in silence. And that cycle, it keeps repeating. Attention, distance, reaction, repeat. And people watching from the outside, they see it. Which brings us to the biggest question of all. What happens if a baby actually happens here? Because at that point, there's no undoing anything. That's lifelong connection. And if the relationship doesn't hold, now you're dealing with custody, support, legal ties, all of it. That's why people are saying this feels rushed and risky, especially when the foundation isn't even clear yet. Because at the end of the day, Remy Ma looks like she's moved on emotionally. Papoose looks like he hasn't fully let go of anything. And Claressa, she's fully in it, with the most to lose. And that combination right there, that's why this situation keeps escalating. So now I gotta ask you one last thing. Do you think this is going to settle down quietly, or do you think something bigger is coming out of this? Because the way this is going right now, this doesn't feel like the end at all.